Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. I certainly did. Now we got some Laker basketball to discuss because we got a big game tonight against the OKC Thunder, and I'm fresh off home look on their highlights of the last 5 games that they've played, where they won 3 straight after having 2 losses back to back before that against the Kings and against the Spurs. Believe it or not, the same Spurs we just saw um, did get a chance to ease out a tournament game victory against them, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, the Blazers ultimately got them back in the winning column, and then they saw the Sacramento Kings, where they had a pretty easy game. They dropped 130 points on the Kings. And then the last game was against the Golden State Warriors, where they were able to have a big lead on the Warriors, and the Warriors closed in on them, and they won a tight one down the stretch. So this is a very good Thunder team, but they are missing some people, man. AC is expected to miss tonight's game, so that's very good. We ain't got to worry about Caruso. Um, of course, they're missing Jalen Williams, not J Dub, but J Will, their center power forward combination player. Um, of course, it's necessary that we say that Nikola Topic is out, but he's going to be out for the season. We knew that before he was even drafted, but that is a very good player that you have to look out for next season with the Thunder. Another fantastic guard in their situation. Um, who else is out? Of course, Chet Holmgren is going to be missing for the next couple of months, I believe, with the broken hip. So they're missing a lot of their guys, man. They're missing a lot of guys, but at the same time, they do have SGA, they do have J Dub, they do have have Hartenstein, Kason Wallace. So we got plenty to deal with tonight. This is a very good team, man. They drafted pretty well too, and they got some guys on the back of that bench that could go off at any moment. I wish I remember the names of these fellas, but their bench unit is sound. They have a very, very deep team, even though they're missing a lot of people. They still have more than enough to come at you, man. Hartenstein brings so much energy to this team in that center position, and he play makes, he rebounds. Um, he's a barrel of energy at all times, just like he was for the Knicks. Same thing with the Thunder. He fits in just fine. He's gonna create a lot of problems tonight. So with AC out, you're gonna see more Kason Wallace, I believe, more Kendrick Williams, I believe, and one of their rookies, man. I just wish I would have got the glance at the names of their roster so I could think of this guy. But they got some players, man. Also, Ousmane Deng is expected to be out for this game as well. Of course, everything with the injury report is subject to change. Now, the Lakers, on the other hand, we got some injury information I don't really like. Um, DK, Dalton Connect, is a game time decision with some type of quad injury. I did not know he had. He played in the last game, of course, against the Spurs. Looked great. We had him in that starting lineup, no problems. I don't know what the hell happened between then and now, but that was listed on the injury report to kind of shock me. Other than that, it's the same old same. No Gabe Vincent. No, not Gabe Vincent. Vanderbilt. Got my V's wrong. And of course, no Christian Wood. Um, I don't know what's going on with Jackson Hayes. I was kind of surprised I haven't heard an update on that injury that he suffered 2 games ago. Um, but he's considered a game time decision right now. So I don't know. I guess it wasn't as bad as it looked. Um, but yeah, that's the injury report for now. And of course, Anthony Davis is always on the injury report, but that's not anything new. He's not going to miss the game, as far as I could tell. So yeah, man, I'm happy with the Lakers coming off of this San Antonio win. We had 7 players, double figures. Feels great going into a matchup like this, where even though the Thunder are literally the best team in the Western Conference, they're missing such key pieces that they're somewhat mortal right now. They still can play both sides of the floor. They still have plenty of energy and size at every position. Talent that can close games, run up the score, stars and co-stars. They got everything you need. And, that's going to be a problem regardless. But With them missing Chet out there, with them missing AC, I think that they're down a little more than they probably want to be. And with them being on a 3-game winning streak, you feel like you have to bring your A game to beat them. But at the same time, if you look at how we attack, what our strengths are with AD and Bron, I just don't really know who's going to check AD. And I really don't think they have the piece that could check Bron. Now, some of our guards are going to have a tough night, though. Saw how we had trouble against the Orlando Magic on-ball defenders, where OKC has some serious on-ball defenders too, man. J-Dub, Kason alone, Lou Dort. Let's not forget about Lou Dort. Plenty of talent down there that's going to be on the defensive side that does translate to them getting in transition, and that is not a strength of ours, to say the least. So they do have some things that concern me a lot, especially with the way that J-Dub has been playing. He's been playing as good as SGA, to be honest with you. I mean, J-Dub has been absolutely out of his mind. I think it was against the Sacramento Kings. He went really off. His 3-ball was completely wet. He's dunking the ball. He's hitting mid-range shots. He's stealing the ball. He's rebounding. He's even blocking shots. So y'all got to watch out for J-Dub. He's quickly becoming one of the best players in basketball right before our very eyes, man. And, of course, SGA is an MVP candidate for the last 3 years straight. Any year he's not hurt, he's pretty much going to be an MVP candidate. That dude is incredible. He's an artist out there, man. He's a flat-out artist. He just picks people apart with mid-range shots. He's a fantastic defender. His athleticism is going to go. He can do pretty much everything. His footwork is just magic. So at this point, you just expect for him to get his regular 36 points and like 7 to 8 assists. And, he's a superstar, man. There's nothing short of it, and he's a winning basketball player, and this is a winning team, and it's just a matter of time before they put together something special for their season. So with that being said, this is a tournament game. It's a must-win game, because the last tournament game we got blown out by, 27 points or something crazy like that against the Phoenix Suns, and because of it, now our point differential has us in second place behind the Suns, just with one game getting blown out in this tournament. And how it's seeded, you found yourself in trouble, because if you lose this game, you're basically out. There's no basically, you're out. You're going to be playing consolation prize teams for the rest of these tournament, while somebody else goes on and tries to effectively take your crown. So this is the game of all games. This might as well be the championship game for us, because if we don't win it, we're out of the tournament. So let that be understood. This is a must win, and we're playing the best team in order to basically get it done. But at the same time, I think that styles make fights, as they say. And I think when it comes down to it, since this OKC team has been constructed this way, we have basically had the upper hand in some very key areas in regards to the style matchup. Now, I don't know if that continues, because they've picked up some different pieces, and they really do have a deep team, much deeper than ours. But at the same time, I just think that at the end of the day, superstars will tell the story with this one. SGA, J-Dub, AD, and Bron. This is your game. Whoever wins the superstar battle, I believe, will win this matchup. And usually history has told us that Bron and AD usually win that matchup against these two guys. But it's a different year. These guys are getting better. They're young players, and they have fantastic role players around them that defend like crazy, especially around the perimeter. And we struggle on the defensive end, to say the least. Now, we did move Dalton Knecht to the starting lineup. Again, if he's not out there, we're in trouble, in my opinion. But the move to move him to the starting lineup, I think, really helped our team kind of find more roles that fit more players in rotation. And we shut down some of Gabe Vincent's minutes in that San Antonio matchup, which I think also exposed more of the capability of guys like Max Christie and Cam Reddish, and even D'Lo had a fantastic game, for which we would hope he would have tonight as well. Even though, just like against Orlando, anytime you have on-ball defenders that are really talented, you just don't feel that great about our ball handlers like D'Lo being able to really do what it is they normally do. But with him coming off a good game, hopefully that leads to him having the confidence to at least shoot a lot better than he did in the last one. So, I mean, the one in the games prior up to the last one where he shot very well. So this is really what it is for me. I just want to see, more of the same from the San Antonio game where we had so many players contribute in so many ways. Max Christie took some steps forward. Rui had a really nice game. D'Lo, of course, as we mentioned. Austin has been playing better lately, especially with his efficiency. Braun and AD were high on the assists, and of course Dalton Knecht was the high man with 20 points in that starting lineup. So we just need more of that type of production, man, from everybody. And if we get it, hopefully that'll be enough to keep us in this tournament, man. But the score matters, Score matters. If you can find some magical way to get a blowout here, it really can catapult you into that starting that number one seed, which definitely affects a lot of what happens next in the knockout round. So, we let Phoenix take the first overall spot in this tournament with that, not only the loss, but in the fashion that we got blown out. We hurt the whole damn group. San Antonio, OKC, Utah, all of them probably mad at us for how we let that happen. Letting Phoenix slide all the way to the top after having their stars out for pretty much the entire tournament. They just step in after 5 days of rest, run into a Laker team that has struggled after losing to the Denver Nuggets, and just ultimately gets to take basically the entire tournament seeding just by winning that one game in the fashion that they did. It looked, when you look at that, how that actually looks, it looks set up for Phoenix to ultimately be number one. How the hell are they coming off of 5 days off for rest? Nobody has 5 days off rest. So, on behalf of the entire group, I just felt like the NBA kind of just handed the group to the Phoenix Suns when you look at how that was all set up. But, one of these two teams, depending on how this goes tonight, will have an opportunity to maybe snatch that from Phoenix. But we need to make sure it's not OKC, and we need to definitely make sure we don't get blown out. That's for damn sure. So, yeah, man, this is a must-win. Must-win. I don't know how many people care about this tournament in the grand scheme of things, but the fact that we're the defending champions mean that we should have a certain pride about it. And the fact that we were undefeated going into this Phoenix game where we got blown out should tell y'all that we take this thing seriously every time it comes around. And so I think, us coming off the San Antonio win, hopefully our guys didn't overstuff themselves on turkey, yesterday, and are ready to run, because they're going to need to. This is a fast-paced team that plays defense, and like I said, they attack us in transition, and that is exactly where we find ourselves, a weak basketball team. Not to mention that the three-point shot has been falling pretty good from player to player, so we need to be ready for that as well. And the high energy of a guy like Hartenstein is going to create so many problems. I can tell you that before the game even starts, he's a problem and a half. So, yeah, man, get ready for the Dortcher chamber. Lou Dort has been playing great ball this year. His three's fallen, and he is a lockdown of the highest order. So is Keson Wallace. So they have such talented perimeter defenders. It really does make for them being as good of a basketball team as their record shows that they are, man. And, if AC isn't out there, that just makes it a little more manageable. But they still have about 4 or 5 people that are going to lock you down around the perimeter. So this is a game where you want to get the ball to AD a lot, man. I'm just being honest. You do not want to do too much dribbling out there. You don't want to do too much hoisting out there unless the shot is falling as a team. This is a team that really shines in some areas that we probably would rather they not be. So that's really my thought on the OKC Thunder. Of course, the Lakers are going to have their tournament floor down there for the second time this season. We're going to wear our purple road unis, and the Thunder will be wearing their white uniforms, which they've basically been wearing every game, with the exception of a home game against Dallas. They've been wearing that white uniform everywhere they've gone. So that's kind of what it is for them again. And, I enjoyed watching the highlights of the OKC Thunder. I will say that they are an entertaining team to watch. They play at a hell of a pace. They got such fantastic superstars in SGA and J-Dub to keep the game interesting and play with a lot of fire. And, I think this could be a very entertaining matchup tonight, especially if the Lakers play the way they did in San Antonio, where they get production from everyone and a high level of energy from everyone, this is going to be a playoff-like game, essentially what I'm telling you. And I think, like I said, the way we're constructed, I think the styles favor us. I think they favor us, especially without AC and Chet Holmgren specifically. Without those two, they're a mortal team. With those two, they're probably the favorite to win the West for sure. And maybe they still are, but I just think they look, to the eyesight, a little small out there, especially when Hartenstein goes down. Now, when they get Jay Will back, I think that'll help some of their size as well. Ousmane Deng being out makes him a little smaller, so that's kind of the problem for the Thunder. But around the perimeter and ultimately with the level of talent that they put on the floor, it's not a wonder they're the number one seed. So they can win any game they're in, man. And so that's really what I think, man. I think the Lakers are in for a playoff-like battle tonight. I think it's very important the Lakers get off to a good start. I think it's very important the Lakers crash the boards to the best of their ability. And I think it's very important the guys who played very well, who had been struggling, carry their good play into this particular basketball game. Because if we get a typical Laker game where we only have a few players playing well and the rest of them are contributing, OKC is going to beat us. That's not even a question. You need everybody to step up, and you need them all to be a threat. And beyond a shadow of a doubt, you really need a good DK tonight. He can't miss this game, in my opinion, if you want to have success. So hopefully he's available to go. Hopefully the quad heals up and it's, he's ruled active. But, at this point, I was rather shocked to see him on the injury report. I didn't hear nothing, didn't even know that was a possibility. So, yeah. But I tell you this, I was very encouraged by what I saw from Max Christie in the last game. And he is going to be so important in this matchup. If he's really got it going, it can help us a lot because his defense is going to be imperative in trying to slow down somebody, one of these guys. And so, my hope is that Lou Dort has a bad shooting night. A lot of times Lou Dort, he's either all or nothing when it comes to shooting. He's a hell of a defender, but his three-point shot, he tends to bomb them. And either they're going to fall at high frequency as it pertains to his attempts, or he's going to be 1 for 9 or something like that. And that's what I'm hoping to see is a cold Lou Dort. Lou Dort, to be honest with you, I've seen more cold Lou Dort than hot Lou Dort in my eyesight to him. He misses a lot when I'm watching. So hopefully that continues to be the case. But can't count on him not defending. That's for damn sure. Excuse me. So that's really what it is as my voice continues to go. I consider the importance of this basketball game. Understanding that even if the score is out of whack, you're going to see the other team continue to try to shoot. So don't be offended by that. Excuse me. Forgive me. That's just what goes on in this tournament. So that's what I want to tell everybody. Don't get offended if you're down by a lot or you're up by a lot and the players on the floor with like a minute to go are still looking to score. The NBA set it up for that. It's not poor sportsmanship while it's a tournament game. So I want to defend my championship. I know a lot of people don't care nothing about this tournament, but when it really comes down to it, a certain pride factor that goes into wanting to defend what it is that's yours. We have the crown, and at the end of the day, all it took was one bad game to send us into a position where we're fighting for our lives. And that is the case. You have to beat the OKC Thunder to stay in this tournament. And we're going to see how important it is to this team this year. We're going to see the energy that they bring to the table. They came into this San Antonio game looking like they were just dead in the water after losing 3 straight in embarrassing fashion. And they shocked everybody and played one of their best games as a unit. Who are the Lakers today? Who are they after Thanksgiving? That's the question. Are they satisfied with how they looked in San Antonio, or are they still a bit embarrassed from how they looked in the other 3? That's the question. You know, we were all happy to see them go into the holiday looking good. But at the end of the day, we're on a bad stretch right now. Just like my voice is on a bad stretch right now. You know, it's one of those things where if the team doesn't carry forward, then momentum from San Antonio game, you're just looking at a situation where you lost 4 of your last 5. That's what that will be. So let's figure ourselves out. Let's come out carrying that momentum. Let's hopefully keep the confidence that we have from the guys that we saw bounce back and play well. And let's take this tournament seriously. Let's carry forth some pride. You know, we got our heart snatched from us in 3 games straight. And I don't think that San Antonio win really got the bad taste all the way out of our mouth, but it did give us something that we could be encouraged by and a building block from which to see good things happen. So that's what I want to say. Good things can happen, and it should continue tonight if we just keep the confidence that we gave ourselves. We're at home, you know what I'm saying? We're in our own building. We tend to play very well at home. We tend to find ways to find, solutions against issues throughout the course of this year. That's been our MO at home. And, let's protect this house. We're dealing with a guy like SGA who played for the Clippers as a rookie. He was traded away. This is a building he's very comfortable in. Is essentially what I'm saying to you. So, anytime he comes to Staples Center, he's going to want to show his best. And since the Clippers no longer there, he's going to do it against us. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. So I never underestimate guys who return into Staples Center to play, whether they played for us or the Clippers. When they step into this building at this point, they're going to want to remind people why it was important they stayed where they were at. So, yeah, that's really what it is. SGA is always somebody you got to circle as a superstar at this point. And he's on an MVP mission, so I have no doubt he's putting up MVP numbers tonight if we don't do something to slow him down. So that's really what it is, man. We're going to need Anthony Davis to step back into a 30-point Anthony Davis. His scoring has been a little low lately, even though his rebounding, his defense has been there. He's been looking to kind of defer to other people, and I just don't know that this is the night for that. I don't know. Based on how this thing is set up, our best bet is to probably go and feed him a lot tonight, and hopefully he can get us upwards of 40 points. If he does something like that, I think the win will be ours. So that's really what it is, man. Look out for J-Dub, man. J-Dub is no Robin. That's the reality of it. This is not a Batman and Robin situation. It is a Batman and Superman situation at this point. And as long as you approach J-Dub with that type of respect, you'll have a much better chance of slowing him down. But do not think he's just going to slow himself down. This dude's playing amazing basketball this season. He's only getting better. And, they have 2 stars. That's what it really comes down to. You got to deal with both of them. Actually, they have more than that when you consider Chet, but of course he's out. So this is a team that has first-round picks coming from bad teams at the end of this season as well, believe it or not. They could potentially have Ace Bailey or Cooper Flag, literally. That's not even weird. Like, that's something that could actually happen. One of those horrible teams, I think, actually defer their pick to them. So, I think it might be Philly, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure about that, though. But, yeah, it's one of those things where they're going to continue to move forward and have more and more talent. This may be the last year they're not the best team in the league, to be honest with you, just based on how much talent could be coming their way very soon. Pick rich people, that's what I'm telling you. When you don't mortgage your picks, you get everything. That's what OKC is a product of. So when we talk about not mortgaging our picks, this is the team, along with 2 or 3 others, that have been gathering the picks that have been mortgaged by everyone. And they have super teams because of it. That's literally what it is. So, yeah, man. That's what it is, man. I thank y'all for being patient with my voice as it was going out. Salute to Kobe Minute. But we got a big game tonight, man. We got a big game tonight, and it's tournament fashion. So if we don't show up, we're betraying ourselves. You know what I mean? That's what it really comes down to. We embarrassed ourselves against Denver and Phoenix. And, of course, the missed free throw Orlando game, which we probably will never forget. We got to get some of these wins back, man. We're falling in the standings, even though we're not out of the good area. We're number 4 right now, I believe, last I checked. But it's so important that we take a win from this OKC Thunder team, not only for the tournament, but for the standings in the Western Conference. That's really what it is, man. So, yeah, that's what I have to say, man. Hopefully the Lakers get a good victory tonight. I wish I remember what time this game started. I think it's at 7:30, but I honestly don't remember what that thing said. So check for yourselves. I'll likely make another video updating the time of this game starting, but I think it's at 7:30 or 7 o'clock. Be ready at 7. If it starts at 7:30, then you just be waiting for 30 minutes, but I think that's a safer way to play it. Usually Western Conference Laker games Friday night, probably 7:30. So that's just my guess at this point. Hope I'm right. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I'm going to drink some water and try to listen back to this horse video that I made. But at the end of the day, I hope I prepared everybody for what I expect to see. And we got a fight on our hands, man. This ain't going to be easy, and it's a definite must-win. Playoff atmosphere. If you care about the tournament, then this is a game you're going to go out and win. BDL 44, I thank you all for watching.